I'm BarbergirlChevy, and you are watching GoddessTV.
You do.
Okay, well, my name is Chevy. People call me Chevy, BarbergirlChevy, a lot of things. I am a barber stylist. I did cosmetology when I was in high school. I decided that it wasn't really for me, and later on I took up barbering. So now I'm able to do more than just cut hair. I can style, I can color, I can braid. So that's why I call myself a barber stylist.
That's so your Instagram dates back to May, yet you've been cutting for like 10 years, right?
I haven't been cutting for 10 years. I didn't start cutting until barber school.
Oh.
So I've been doing hair for about 10 years. So I started my Instagram over so that way I could have a more of a professional look that didn't date back to stuff that didn't pertain to barbering.
Okay. So that's cool. What inspired you to cut hair?
Really my own styles. So the lack of barbers and stylists out there to create the type of styles that I wanted for myself. Some people didn't really think that the hairstyles were, they may thought it was weird, or I could go to a stylist and she was great at styling and coloring hair, but she couldn't give me the cut of a barber. Or I could go to a barber and he was great at cutting hair, but he would like cut too much of my hair off for my stylist, or I would have like more of a boyish type of look. So I'm like, well, there's nobody that combines both of them. So that's what made me go to barber school and decided to do both.
Okay, that's dope. With it being such a masculine field, does that intimidate you, or has it ever discouraged you in any way?
It intimidated me in barber school a little bit. Guys, so if somebody comes in and they're new and they know nobody, they're naturally going to gravitate towards a man to cut their hair. So if they see me, they often say, "Oh, you cut hair or you do hair?" I'm like, "Okay, I cut hair."
Right.
Then it's like, "Oh, do you cut men's hair?" And it's like, "Yes, I cut men's hair." Like, you know what I mean? So the guys would just naturally have customers, or clients, I should say, gravitate towards them. And it was like I had to work double time. And then, not to mention, women, we don't really know many men because we go do what women do all day and men do what men do all day. So you got men that are hooping, they're playing basketball with these guys, they're on teams with them, they're doing all type of stuff. So they naturally had a clientele around them. Like, I really had to work hard and prove myself to get men clients. So I would often yell on the floor, like, "Y'all gonna let me cut your hair?" Like, so sometimes it's natural to ask the girls in barber school for facials, and I hated it. I love doing facials, but I hated it because it's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get my haircut, now I'm gonna get a facial."
Right, and back of the both.
So it was like, no, you gonna get a haircut or you're not getting a facial. Like,
yeah, true. I mean? It's like it's a package deal type thing. So. That's dope. So, what inspired you to just start building your brand around being a barber? Is it just like...
I never really looked at it as me building a brand until recently. I mean, I always wanted a cool name or whatever, but I was more so focused on what was going to get me clients.
Okay.
So it really just started me like naturally thinking like, okay, well, what do people like on my page, or what do people like about me, or
Right.
So that's really more so how that started. But then when I saw how many people paid attention to me and how many people that I kind of influenced, I'm like, well, maybe I should take it more serious and make it more of a brand.
Okay, that's dope. So this is a little off topic there. What do you feel is the most underrated topic now? In 2018, the month of August, the most underrated topic in your opinion? It could be anything.
Like underrated topic or underrated issue?
Issue, it could be either one.
I think the issue with the women coming out about sexual harassment is like, it's almost a joke. Even me, naturally, at first, I was like, oh, when it was Bill Cosby, it was like, oh, whatever, like, they just want to, tear him down.
Right.
Then, like, I noticed with a lot of other industries, and, like, the actresses are coming out in all type of fields, and I'm like, well, I noticed from what I go through in the industry, like, maybe these women are not lying. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like they're getting reprimanded, but people aren't really paying attention to it or, you know, taking it too serious.
Right.
And I feel like it should be a little more attention to that because a lot of women are uncomfortable in the field that they're in, but it's nobody that cares because majority of men do most businesses.
Okay, true. So, you posted a video about already being famous. It was a little funny little video. Is that your end goal ultimately to get famous?
It wasn't so more of the famous that I should say, because it's not fame that I'm going after. Okay. I feel like being able to influence people is more important than fame and money, because if you can influence somebody to do the things that you want them to do or make them feel like the things that you do are cool, those things will naturally gravitate towards you. Yeah. So I just feel like I already have that. I feel like a lot of people pay attention to me, and a lot of people do. I don't want to say mimic, it kind of sounds kind of arrogant, but a lot of people do gravitate to the things that I put out there, but I don't really get a lot of recognition for it. And I feel like I will eventually. So that's what that was. It was just funny.
Okay. So is recognition important for you, or is it just like, you know, give me that credit where it's due?
Credit where it's due. It's not so much as I just feel like anything that I do, if I get it from somebody or like I feel like somebody is dope, I don't hesitate to say it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's what I mean by
that. Okay. You've worked with Invictus around prom season. Is charity events something that you do often?
Yeah. So this isn't like a job to me. Like, I don't really look for like how much money can I get today.
Right.
It's more so like how can I make somebody like their hair, like their real hair, really is what I should say. Like to feel like, okay, I don't need Stolen. Right. Like, you know what I mean? Like my hair is dope, you know what I mean? So when I can help somebody feel better about how they feel, so that's really more what I get out of it. So when I go to those type of things, they usually have fun, or they haven't had a haircut in 2 months. So when I give them a haircut, and like the video on there was them like, oh, your waves, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it's fun to me. Like I forget that I'm even doing the job. So me doing that, and especially for kids, so some kids don't have people to take them to get a haircut or to tell them about, you know, to help them feel good or to help them feel like who they see on TV or Instagram.
Right.
So I just enjoy helping kids.
That's dope. So is there anybody that you would like to collab with now or in the future? That you can see yourself collabing with, or
as far as
hair or anything else you have going on, like
locally, dang, you really have me thinking.
It doesn't have to be local. It could be anything. It can be a big name for all I care. It's just, and who do you see yourself working with now or in the future?
That is so crazy.
And on any platform. It can be
any platform, right? Because I do. It's like I wanna Kanye. That's just the ultimate goal, and it's not so far as cutting his hair. I like to creative direct things. Okay. So it would be more so that'd be the ultimate goal.
That's dope. That's dope. So you seem to be one who thinks consciously, or whom get it, for lack of better words. Do you feel it's your job to make sure the culture gets it as well, like each one teach one type of situation?
I feel like for culture, you mean like black culture?
Yeah, like
each one teach one.
Each one teach one.
We do have to teach each other. See, I'm torn between that because I feel like people depend on people to teach them something or to lead the way. So I feel like I don't have a problem helping somebody who I feel like genuinely can help themselves. Like I'm not for helping people that don't help themselves. So like I'm not naturally that person where you can be up under my comments and be like, oh, what app you use? I find that offensive, and people think that it's like, oh, you're supposed to help, you know what I mean? Like I feel like if I took my time and I researched apps and I wasted my money on some apps, and you know what I mean, and I'm taking helping you.
Okay. Yeah. So you recently posted some photos with definitions attached to them. How would you elaborate the purpose or the message of those photos? Like, what were you trying to get out there with those?
Well, funny story about it, because everything that happens on my page and by me is accident.
Okay.
So I was gonna just build my portfolio, like just personal pictures, and I booked the session, and I was gonna have a model, which is why I posted, the free models. I need a model. And we were just gonna do her hair, and we were gonna take headshots. It had nothing to do with me or how I looked. And she ended up not showing up, but I didn't want to play him and waste his time, so I still was like, well, I'm gonna just put some makeup on and go take some pictures. So as I took the pictures, he it was like every emotion. Like I noticed, I'm like, well, that's cool. Like it really got all my emotions. And then I'm like, well, I've recently done a lot of self-searching and like isolation, so that my mind could be prepared to, go as far as I can, because school was a lot, and being in the industry the first year was a lot. So I'm like, well, this kind of shows all my emotions that like led up to me being good now. I'm good now. Right. so those feelings and those emotions, which was the definitions, were just how I was feeling from the beginning of it. I think I put vain. Maybe was the first one. Like, you starting stuff, you full of yourself, you feel like you can do whatever, you're invincible. Right. You know what I mean? It's all about you. Right. And like those other definitions led up until how my emotions changed and how I started to view things differently. And that's why the last one was ready, because I'm ready.
And that's what I was getting to. So when you stated that you were ready, you said it as if you got something big coming up. Is it something up your sleeve? Can you give us a little
Yeah, it is something big that I do plan on doing next year. I don't really want to tell you guys what it is. It is industry related, but it's not so much focusing on just barbering or just the barbering professionals. Like, it's creatives. So it's something that's gonna mix all of the things that I like in my life. Okay. As far as new things, creative things, music, stuff like that.
Right. Okay, that's dope. So for someone just starting out in the barber world, what would be your greatest piece of advice?
Let stuff rub off your shoulders. Don't let it get to you. Let it go one ear and out the other. I would say keep your, what do they call those, blinders? Keep those on and constantly talk to yourself. Constantly talk to yourself. Write down how you feel. Repeat how you feel. And make sure you have at least maybe 1 or 2 people who you can tell everything to. Because I feel like that helps to play off of somebody, help you figure out how you feel. And I would say you gotta find something that gives you peace, where it takes away the stress and everything. I would say it's very big to make sure you have something that can take you away from your life, or even if it's just like 5 or 10 minutes a day.
Right. So speaking of advice, views from a chick posted, it's really men out here who will give you the world without you even having to ask, and y'all be settling for asking niggas, what are we, after talking for 3 years? How would you apply that settling concept to your business life?
It's not a business page.
Well, the professional side of what you do, rather.
It's so hard to make that ratchet statement.
You have to try, like, just a little bit.
As far as not settling in your career, don't take no for an answer. A lot of people like to tell me, oh, that's crazy. I don't do that. Or that's unprofessional. Or, and I'm like, so I'm gonna post it. Like, or, I'm gonna do it anyway because I just want to see, and I'm thinking about it all day, so I'm gonna do it anyway. Like, I don't care what you think. And then people end up liking it. So I would say, don't settle for no.
Okay. No, don't settle for no. I have 99 problems, but I'm avoiding them all. Does that sound familiar? Yeah. Okay. So what are you doing differently to offset your procrastination?
It's hard. I don't even know, because it's not there yet. It's not something that I've mastered yet.
Okay.
But one thing that has helped me with procrastination is if people ask me stuff last minute, I say yes. Okay. Just so it's like, it makes me get up. So I don't say, oh, I need more time. Because that just helps my procrastination. So whenever anybody asks me anything, I just say yes.
Okay. Just say yes. So is there any time that you would just be like, no, hell no, I'm not doing that? Like,
I mean, if it's something that's like morally wrong, you know what I mean? Or something that'll have me out of character. But if it's not, then no, I'll say yes.
I got you. God may not be done with you yet, but I am. What type of people do you avoid to protect your energy and your business?
People that think differently of me than what I try. I'm not gonna say what I try to portray myself. What I am. So, it's a big misconception out here about my attitude, about me being mean or me being non-approachable, and people that like to feed into that or some people will like to introduce me as that, like, oh, she's not as mean as she looks, or stuff like that. I don't like those people. Right. I don't like those people. Let people judge me off of how they want to judge me and my interactions with those people. Okay. Or people that speak negatively, even if it's not about me. Like, if everything just negative to them, like, if, stuff happens to people. So if stuff happens to you, you can't get over it, and you harboring on it, and you making everybody else's day bad with your bad attitude. Right. No, I don't like those people around me.
Gotcha. So wait, before I even go into this, what are fibers?
Fibers are fake. I guess they are like little fake hairs that you can take and you can fill in. Most people use it like for your lineup. Okay. And you can fill it in for people that are thinning a little bit.
Okay, so I seen that you posted about how men have opinions about women's wigs and unit pieces. So how do you feel about fibers and men units?
I never really voiced my opinion too much about it because it's a big, huge debate in the barber world. Okay. So, me personally, being a woman, I don't like them. And me talking to other women, they don't like them. Okay. We just don't like them. So like before I became a barber, I was so ignorant. So I was so ignorant to what it was that guys were getting. Like, I hated the little chalk line, and I hated how dark it looked when they had fibers. So, but now that I'm a barber, I get it. Some clients, they want it. It makes them feel better about themselves, and it's a very marketable thing to do. So barbers say, you stop your money, you don't like fibers. But it's really not about that for me. It's about people looking as good as they look with what they have. So I'll just say it, guys, we just don't like it. Like how y'all don't like our makeup and y'all don't like our weave and y'all tell us we don't need it. You don't need it. Right. You don't like it. And then washes off again. So
like it's coming off anyways. So how did BarbergirlChevy get to where she is currently? Like, is there something specific that happened that made you get to the point you are today? As far as mindset, mindset. Why? As far as everything you're doing, the attitude of development. I mean, the development of the attitude. I have to work for what I want, and building this platform and everything.
Stuff happened. I always had a plan on how life was going to go, and it never, I don't care what I plan. I could plan the next 10 minutes. It's not going to happen. Like, it just never happened. So I always have to keep going. Me being forced to be in positions that I didn't really want, I wasn't favorable of, made me have a different drive. It made me more so, I'm doing it by myself. I'm not gonna wait for you. I don't need you. I need you to help me. That's more so of how I got here, and it's just really just experience of me dealing with stuff and realizing who I can't be with, or I can't work with, or where I can't work at, or you know, it's really just life. It's nothing specific that got me here at all.
Like it's just life and obstacles. And we're gonna get ready to wrap it up. But if your last words were your next words, what would they be? Like, just give me a burger.
That's too deep. I don't know. I could say, just whenever you're thinking too hard, just say, who cares? And do what you want to do. So that would be my last words, is to always do what you want to do and not care about what anybody has to say, any rules, anything. Just do what you want to do if it's legal.
You said it's legal. Leave the illegal things alone. And is there anything you would like to close out on, or tell Goddess TV where to reach you or anything like that?
Well, you can reach me at BarbergirlChevy. Personally, to see how I am personally, you could be on views from a chick. I am located at GoddessTV Barbershop on 200th Street, right next to Dairy Queens, and my team is nominated for Barber Team of the Year. We will be at the
Follow your Instagram and then you'll find out where they will be.
Well, yeah, we'll be at the Stylist Awards on September 16th, and you will be able to vote for us soon, so vote for us.